Hey, what's up guys, Rip here. So I'm sure everyone watching this video already knows one of the biggest problems plaguing the video game industry currently, and that is themes of colonialism in your favorite cozy games. Yes, this is what happens when members of the gaming industry have too much time on their hands, and they start creating problems that can only be described as first world problems. One of the examples of something we're talking about today, a panel about decolonizing cozy games. Now, this was shared by Master of the TDS. I'll put a link to his YouTube channel in the description, but he shared an absolute doozy with us today, and this all comes from a recent expo called Game Devs of Color Expo, which just wrapped up 2 days ago, and during this, there was a lot of different panels talking about different things. Here's one other example, a panel about avoiding the yikes, a guide to working with sensitivity consultants. So it's very odd to see someone make their entire career about fighting a problem they describe as a yikes. Like, it sounds kind of goofy when you label what you think is so important as a yikes. But you can see, this is like the average consultancy group right here. You can see all the pronouns, everything from they to even they. How fun. And, well, you can see this is the description here. Do you have a great idea, but you're worried you might be getting something wrong or exaggerating in stereotypes? Maybe you want to create a diverse world, but need advice on how to do it. Are your characters from different backgrounds and have different experiences than people working on your project? Where have you heard that one before? In this panel, our group of sensitivity and cultural consulting experts addresses when, how, and who to engage for consulting to level up your game and the benefits they can bring. They answer common questions and describe common pitfalls when hiring or not hiring for sensitivity consulting. Sweet Baby Inc. wasn't just a company, it is an idea that is still spread throughout a lot of the industry. If you think they are gone, absolutely not. We're even going to see some Sweet Baby Inc. employees in this video today. Now, of course, the main talk I wanted to go over, which was shared earlier, is the decolonizing cozy games. And this is a Sweet Baby Inc. employee right here in charge of it, saying what's so cozy about doing chores when you're at the center of the universe. We'll delve into cozy games and how they uphold values of colonialism in their mechanics and narrative. More than just being about vibes, cozy games project an idea of what is safe and rewarding for players and often promote values of capitalism by rewarding individualism and consumption. Yeah, unfortunately, it appears that when you're world building or building a civilization, these things might pop up. There might be some financial winners and losers, and it's very ironic to see people complain about themes of capitalism in a video game, in a genre of video games, that only exist because of capitalism. That is the funniest thing. And same with the consultancy groups. They only exist because of capitalism. This is a very, very interesting approach here, but they're going to give us plenty of examples of what makes a game showing off these colonial aspects, if you will. And some of them are absolutely crazy. In fact, they would make games like Stardew Valley problematic. Stardew Valley, one of the pillars of cozy games, right? I'm pretty sure it was made by one person, and 10 years after release, it's still sitting at a casual 63,000 in-game players on a random Sunday afternoon. But this game is problematic. Yeah, it's actually colonizer themed. You know why? Because it has weather patterns. Yes, if your game, your cozy game, has weather patterns, you might be promoting colonialism. Did you know that? Did you know that colonizers control the weather? Yeah, I'm not joking, but Master of the TDS would share some of the related information from this talk or presentation, however you want to describe it, and they give examples of colonialism in cozy games. First up, so many white people. Yeah, boo. We don't want to see white people in these games, right? That would be totally racist to not exclude a group of people from existing in a video game genre. But yeah, we're not off to a very good start, but it's probably not too surprising to see this, especially from a Sweet Baby Inc. employee. Here's another one saying, the outside individual who saves the day. I'm not really sure which way they're kind of going with this. I'm assuming maybe they're saying that like the outside person comes in and saves the simple civilization or helps build it or something, and that's somehow offensive. But the next one is very ironic for cozy games. It's colonialism if the land is there for the taking. I'm pretty sure like you could play Animal Crossing and this would be an issue for them because you'd be like doing player housing or building things or taking from the land. Like, how else would you have any of these games function at all? What are you going to do? Just sit on the grass and not move? Oh, wait, that might be a problem. You're claiming up space in the grass. Oh, the land's there for the taking now. But you can see how this could apply to pretty much every single cozy type game out there. But the next one says, corn and wheats make number go up. Not even Stretch Armstrong could make a reach like that. But the next one lists the nuclear family. So having a traditional family structure in the game is a sign of colonialism. Now we saw this with, I believe it was Soul Ash 2, where the developer was getting canceled because he had a lineage system in the game. And you would have to have heterosexual couples to produce offspring. And people considered that homophobic. And he basically said, if you don't like that, this game's not for you, but this is just how I want this game to function because it just makes sense for the purpose of what I'm doing in this game, and it would mess up a lot of the systems in the game, would make things more complicated. So appeasing to one person who probably wasn't going to buy the game anyways, who's making these concerns, not the best choice for the developer, and they got somewhat canceled for it. But we're seeing this pop up again. And here's another a bulleted list here saying monochronic structures, 4 seasons, and the Gregorian calendar. 4 seasons. So having weather cycles is now problematic. So if you're excited about the changing of the seasons in your cozy game, you're enjoying that shift from the fall to the winter, you are engaging in colonialism. You didn't even know it until now, so you're welcome. Here's another one saying conveniently ancient civilizations. I don't know, again, which way they're going with this. Like, is it trying to say that the portrayal of these ancient civilizations is offensive, or the values of the ancient civilizations are offensive, and people just want to be able to engage with that in the game? I don't know. But the next one says spirituality. It's silly. Now, I don't think they're talking about religion. I think they're talking about, like, New Age spirituality or something like that. So I don't know about that one. But then the last one, straight up racism. You know, of course, because there's straight up racism in a lot of cozy games. You know, there might be some like way off brand, small, indie dev, one man created cozy game that has something like that going on. But we're not talking about anything that has a significant following or level of support. I just think we're doing some reaching here, but let's move on to some lists of games that are successful. And I find one of them to be very interesting. So games to check out if you want something that is a cozy game that is not adhering to these acts of colonialism, these themes of colonialism in the game. One of them listed is Tales of the Shire, which of course has a connection to Sweet Baby. How convenient this would be listed off as a good example of a cozy game. And Tales of the Shire is, of course, supposed to be a cozy game based on the Lord of the Rings IP. It's one that was announced quite some time ago, and it was met with a lot of criticism because a lot of people are looking at the Weta Workshop, one of the devs behind it, and they had a lot of DEI related stuff on their website. I actually looked back, and it seems like they got rid of a lot of it. So maybe they're kind of getting self-aware where, you know, the first thing they were saying to you is like, hey, our greatest strength is our diversity. And then people are like, well, how is that going to make a good game with hobbits? You know what I mean? And people also started looking at some of the preview clips, and it's, you know, it just kind of adds up. Now, of course, this is a game that wasn't supposed to like reinvent the wheel. It's supposed to be like a cozy game where you're just going around as a hobbit, having fun, making homes, doing stuff like that. But it kind of dropped the ball. And right now, as you can see, only like 2 months since its release, down to 400 players in game. Just not a real recipe for success. I do feel like they fumbled the ball with this one a little bit. And you can see it actually got off to a pretty impressive start with about 6,000 players. I think that's still underwhelming for an IP like this, but it dropped off really quickly and it's pretty much flatlined. I believe on the 15th they had their latest major update and it didn't do anything for them. But yeah, this is quite the wild ride. I wonder if we're going to get more of these screenshots from these presentations. They got to be pretty good, right? This is apparently only a small snippet, and if other people got them out there, we'll have to wait and see. But for now, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.